Hello, Leila.
Can we
Yes, for
start?
sure. Yes, for
Okay,
sure.
great. Thank you for joining our Telegram chat. And to everyone here, we had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Zurab at the Venture Forum in Georgia and invited him to join us today as a speaker. So, Mr. Zurab, could you please briefly tell us about the startup ecosystem in Georgia? So, we have also speaker today, Sitora. She's the owner of Crypto Channel, and she will be as a moderator.
Hello, everyone. Big thanks to Leila and Sitora and the Pivot Uzbekistan community for the invite. Really glad to be here with you today. I'm excited to talk about startups in Georgia, about decentralized autonomous organizations, Web3, and some other things. Well, so let's get into it. Let me introduce myself. Well, I'm Zurab, co-founder of Web3 project XDAO. We are building decentralized, we're helping people to build decentralized autonomous organizations. And so since Leila asked me about startup community in Georgia, I would answer that Georgia today as a growing, as a developing startup place where a lot of traditional startups who are finding investors who are develop the projects to realize their implement their ideas both in traditional and in Web3 sector. It's a very good business atmosphere here in Georgia because Georgia traditionally in top 20 countries according to the ratings like doing business in terms of how it's easy to build and develop business and startups here to work with governance, to interact with authorities. And so, yes, you, Leila, could see that there are a lot of enthusiasts and a lot of young builders who is working in Georgia. Please welcome. There are a lot of events.
Good evening, Zurab. It's very
Good evening.
pleasant to have you to join us. I have looked through from your channel about your project. That's completely amazing. Zurab, my name is Sitora, and I am working as a crypto journalist for 2 years now. Now I will be talking with you on the topic of DAOs.
Great. Thank you.
Zurab, I will be starting the questions if you don't mind.
Of course, sure. That's why I'm here.
I am pretty sure that as this channel, like Pivot, is more focused on startups, so there might be people who's completely new to the Web3. Could you please explain your sector, like DAOs, in simple terms? What would you say to someone who's completely new to this sphere?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sitora. Let's start with the basis. So I would think of a decentralized autonomous organization or just a DAO as a way for people from anywhere in the world to pool their money, ideas, and energy to manage digital assets together. This could be cryptocurrencies, NFTs, or even shared investment funds, and everything runs on the blockchain. What makes it special is that DAOs use smart contracts, bits of code that automatically enforce the rules. No need to trust a central authority or middleman. The system itself makes sure everything is fair, transparent, and secure. And that's what we call trustless. You don't have to trust a person. You have just the code. Members of a DAO, they vote on where funds go, what projects to support, and how the group evolves. It's all is in open, and every vote is recorded on chain. So it's not just about talking, it's more about doing and having real control over shared resources. And the original idea behind DAOs was mass voting, thousands of people making every decision. But in practice, that model proved inefficient, and that's why at XDAO we are reimagining the concept. Instead of just decentralized, we call it rather a digital autonomous organizations. And we use a two-tier structure, so-called a board of directors for efficient governance, and the layer of liquidity providers who support the DAO financially and delegate their votes to board of directors. And this creates the right balance between decentralization and decision-making efficiency, making DAOs truly usable in the real world. And in more simple words, a DAO is a digital blockchain analog to traditional LLC, to traditional company, to the company in traditional world. And DAO can do the same that traditional companies do, but in the world of blockchain.
Okay, completely understandable. Zura, sometimes when I ask it questions from founders or who's been working in cryptosphere, they usually explain Web3 and crypto just it's easier and cheaper way of sending money from A to the B. They make it
Yes.
easy. So it's more about finance. Like crypto is more, but DAO, as I understand, is about more management rather than finance, right?
It's the combination both of funding and management. Because as I said previously, DAO was the kind of philosophy, and the early adopters of DAO, they believed they can rule and manage the companies through voting of a crowd. But so that idea, it almost failed because if the crypto is oriented to the finance, that means that someone should be responsible for the finance. Another way, you can lose it, correct? And so that's why we are combining both the vision of finance and the vision of corporate management.
Okay, completely understandable. Zura, what do you think? Why DAOs today are gaining so much attention?
So I suppose it's because people are starting to realize how powerful it is when you don't have to rely on traditional systems to get things done. And of course, because of interest to blockchain technologies and cryptocurrencies in general. With a DAO, you can launch a global project and manage millions in crypto and make group decisions all without meeting in person. And that's a game changer. This is something new that is brought to the world of traditional business. What's driving the interest? I would name a few things. First, it's ownership. In a DAO, you're not just a user, you're a co-owner, and you help decide what happens next. That's huge, especially for younger generations, because they love dynamics. Secondly, it's transparency. In a world where people are losing trust in institutions, DAOs offer something different. And finally, that's access. Anyone with an internet connection and some crypto can join in. You don't need to live in a big city, have connections, or get invited. You just show up and start contributing. So in a nutshell, DAOs are gaining traction because they offer something radically different: real participation, real voting, real transparency, and real global collaboration, if you understand.
Yep, that's completely valid. Zurab, you counted so many advantages of DAOs today. But you know, there is one paradox that every solution comes with another problems, right?
Okay.
So, what might be the problem that DAOs bring next?
Well, I don't think that DAOs bring a lot of problems. However, today DAOs they work in partly gray zone because the countries and the states they're still are recognizing DAOs as official entities. Correct. And in some countries, you don't know the consequences of your actions in the DAO space because you have to pay taxes. You have to pass KYC. You know that in crypto, the wallets are mostly anonymous, and so the governments and authorities they have to do something with that. Some of their business-oriented jurisdictions, like the United Arab Emirates, the United States, the Switzerland, they already understood it, and they're implementing new forms of legal interaction between DAOs and the government. So I don't see really any issues in implementing DAOs and in changing traditional companies with DAOs. However, so as for today, we're at the very early stage of DAO adoption, and so we are trying to do our best just to make DAOs fully secure and fully compatible with real laws and legislation of particular jurisdictions.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Zurav, we are used to both employee structure in traditional companies. So what replaces that in DAO?
Well, that's a great question. We're all used to the classic company structure. There is a CEO at the top, managers under them, and employees following direction. This is a clear hierarchy. But a DAO can still have leadership roles, even someone acting like a CEO. But here is the key difference: decisions are not made unilaterally. So they are made by a dedicated group of people through consensus via on-chain voting. Power is more distributed, and major actions need agreement from the group, not just a green light from the top. Also, DAOs often organize themselves into working group or sub-teams, kind of like departments in traditional companies that handle specific areas like development or marketing. This group, they might have more autonomy and act without a full DAO-wide vote, especially for day-to-day decisions. So they can have their small budgets and vote within the small group. And of course, it's smart contracts, so it makes all the decisions fully secure and transparent because smart contracts can be changed, and that creates trust. So while a DAO can have structure, coordination, and even leadership, what sets it apart is how power is shared and how decisions are made together, but not from the top down.
Okay, understandable. Zurab, that's just interesting for myself. Like in CryptoSphere, there are whales who will control the narrative and have more control over other users. So is there any chance for the whales in DAO system? Like, can they manipulate the voting process?
I would say no. So that's why we are moving from the reading DAO as the centralized organization towards digital organization. Because in classic DAOs, the whales, they could do anything. Because the more they invest, the more power they have. However, in DAOs that are built through XDAO, and XDAO is a DAO constructor, where introducing two layers of power. So as I said, the board of directors, and they're responsible for all decisions in the DAO. They put their reputation, and the second layer, the liquidity providers. They can invest in a DAO and they can get profit from a DAO according the number of funds they contributed. However, they don't have real power and they cannot manipulate. They see when they invest, they see to whom they delegate their votes. And we know that only a limited number of users, of governance managers, only they can vote on chain, and so to decide how to spend the budgets, to whom add the governance tokens, how to remove them, and so on and so forth. So we're building a very ecological model for a DAO where whales, they cannot just pay money and get all the treasure. It's just impossible.
Okay, understandable. Zurab, you mentioned about XDAO in earlier, right? As I understand, this is your project. What makes it unique compared to other DAO platforms? Like
Mhm.
there are many tools in DAO space, right? But what's your take different?
So I would say thanks for this question, but I would say there are not so many popular DAO tools on the market. And I would say what makes XDAO different, it's focus on simplicity, flexibility, and financial management. First, XDAO was built to make launching and running a DAO as easy and fast as possible. So you can literally set up a full DAO with a treasury and governance structure in just a few clicks, no coding and no complex setup. Secondly, XDAO is designed for managing real digital assets. We are not just about voting and governance, we're about creating functional on-chain organization that can control funds, interact with decentralized finance protocols, and act as true crypto-native entities. And the modular architecture that gives DAOs complete flexibility. You can add roles, permissions, plugins, and build it as simple or as complex as you need. We are also multi-chain by design. So your DAO isn't locked into one network. Currently, we support over 40 blockchains. Our users have created more than 27,000 DAOs and raised over 50 million US dollars through the platform. We are now finishing the development of our application for Telegram. And very soon, our users will be able to create a DAO directly from their pockets, just in Telegram Messenger, because Telegram is #1 crypto messenger in the world currently, with total audience of over 120 million crypto users. So that's how I see what distinguishes us from our competitors. We want to be closer to our clients, and we want to be really very simple, even for those who don't know how to use crypto wallets, who are not very professional with Web3 and decentralized finance.
That's great, Zurab. So usually people they do have an understanding of the cryptosphere. Web3 is pretty complex. But now you are telling we are trying to make it simple. So what were the biggest challenges you were facing right now, like building your XDAO?
There were definitely a few. Technically, the biggest challenge was making something that is both powerful and simple. We were also trying to optimize our smart contracts to make them cheap. And DAOs touch on so many complex things: smart contracts, asset management, governance logic, and wrapping that into a clean, user-friendly interface was a huge effort for us. We made already three versions of XDAO, and the version you can see now and use now, this is the third version of our interface, because we are getting the feedback from our users, and we're still improving our product. Because we didn't want to build it XDAO just for developers. We wanted anyone to be able to launch a DAO in minutes. That's how we saw our mission and our strategy. Of course, on the team side, like any startup, the hardest part was getting things moving in the beginning. We had to build the product, figure out the vision, keep everyone motivated, and get people to believe in the new idea of DAO. But maybe the most difficult thing it was to start explaining to just average people why they need a new type of company, because they didn't understand how they can pay salaries, how they can be safe for their treasuries, and we had to explain them, to educate them. We conducted two big educational campaigns with the biggest blockchains like Polygon and BNB Chain, and both times we became the fastest growing protocols within that sectors. And now we also work with our community. We launched an educational application within Telegram, and we are preparing them to the launch of our main product. And today also some members of our international community who joined our AMA session, so they're helping us to test our products, and they get the rewards in the future tokens. So that's how it works, and that's how we're trying to manage these issues and these challenges.
Okay, Zurab, right now you got the point, which I am really thinking that was about massive adoption. Because when you talk about Web3, to me personally, it seems like we are still in the beginning. So
Definitely.
if we say, let's say from 1 to 10, what do you think, how far we should go through it for the massive adoption, like explaining it to average people?
Yes, thanks. It's a brilliant question. We know that there are not so many people in Web3, maybe in crypto, but not in Web3. And that's why we see a great potential in Telegram ecosystem. And that's why we're moving towards it, because over 90% of our active users on other blockchains, they're coming from crypto communities in Telegram. Telegram is the place where crypto communities, crypto groups are formed, and after that they're transformed into on-chain DAOs. Telegram also has a built-in wallet. For those who don't know how to install non-custodial wallets, how to store seed phrases, how to buy crypto to pay gas fees, it makes it much more easier. And currently, I would assess that we are between 3 and 4 points on this scale of crypto adoption and DAO adoption, but we want really to increase it very soon. The crypto communities, they will not have to move out of their cozy Telegram channels, the Telegram chats, to some external websites to install MetaMask, to understand how seed phrases work and what is the gas fees. they will be able to create DAO directly within their messenger and connect it and to their chats and channels and transform them into DAOs. So all the users, they will receive the notifications through Telegram bots about any activities in a DAO, and anyone will just sign all the transactions. All the users will be able to sign transactions and to invest directly from their messenger. So that's how we see our future, and that's why we are doing what we are doing now.
So through the Telegram, like Telegram community might be the nearest user base for the project, DAO project, right? That you are
Yes.
saying that. Can I ask your personal opinion? Like last year in the summer, there was so many gaming mini apps on Telegram, which was based on tap to earn. If you remember, like Norcoin, Hotcoin, Dochi, there was a lot of like, but they do have a problem. Like they couldn't keep those community alive. So they attract so many users, but they couldn't keep it. So is there any chance of rewards or like approaches to reward your community, your users?
Yes, for sure. So the main difference is that we are building a real product, and so we promote the idea, and we will release the project where everyone can join and understand how it works. And there are always a lot of people, a very big percentage, who understand that they can use our product and they can use DAO in their life, and they invite more friends, more partners, and they see this as a way how to build the Web3 business and how to find the financing for their ideas and how to interact with the community. Of course, we will bring also a lot of big guys from Telegram Ton ecosystem, KOLs, who will build their DAOs to interact with their communities and to broadcast their ideas, their values, and so on. That's how we see we can keep the members of our communities within our ecosystem, because we will attract them the real activities and real financial interest after our gamified application. We'll have a TG, let's say, yeah, and our tokens they will have a real utility within our ecosystem, and that's how we will keep the price.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Zora.
Sitora,
Uh-huh.
there are many people who want to participate and ask questions. We can read their questions they're sending to our comment section, and some of them are raising their hands, so you can allow them to speak if you want.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so Mrs. Rob, I'm giving the floor to P. Daftar. Are you here? So he's going to ask his question, if possible.
Hello, guys. Thank you, Mr. Zurab. I am a founder of PDaftar, and our application is to manage, which helps for SMEs to manage their financial transactions manually. And some of our users are asking about ledger function or feature, which is confirmed by third parties. So there should be proof of the actual, valid transaction. My question is, what kind of technology or service of Web3 or blockchain can be used for this purpose?
So could you, thanks for your question. Mr. Pidaftar, could you please explain, so what kind of information do you need? So do you need just a ledger just to store your funds and so then to vote and to make a payments after the voting, or you just need a provider who can help you, a custodian that can store your funds and to manage them on behalf of you?
You know, our product helps SMEs to manage their financial transactions, but manually. I mean, the business owner kind of enters manually whatever the client takes out from the business. For example, $100 worth of products is taken out, kind of landed out, and the record is added to the database. But we need another validator between customer and the business. So the validator or maybe confirmer, let's say, should be independent, not on. It should be independent. So the business owner and the client cannot, let's say, affect on the both sides.
So you need a kind of trustee to confirm any transaction. Yes. But do you operate on blockchain?
No, we are just a plain SaaS project.
Oh yeah, but because let me explain. So my space of expertise is connected to blockchain and the solutions, ledger solutions that work with crypto only. So that's how I could recommend you some projects. But I'm not expert in traditional finance, but I'm sure that you can make a brief research on that and to understand who could help you. So I'm not just the best person to make any recommendations to use. I'm sorry.
Okay, what kind of resources would you recommend to look up to understand better and how to integrate with traditional software?
Yeah, I would recommend you to start with artificial intelligence and to ask it to make research for you and to recommend the top custodians and top products or top teams who can provide this.
All right.
So let's just try ChatGPT or Grok. It would be enough.
Thank you. One more question. Is there any company which is collaborating with XDAO from Uzbekistan?
From Uzbekistan, I'm not sure. We have, but we have. I'm not sure about the direct collaboration with companies from Uzbekistan. However, we have a lot of users all over the world. So I'm sure that there are some projects that use XDAO from Uzbekistan. But you know that in blockchain world, we're using just wallets instead of names. So we cannot, we're not tracking we're not tracking our users. We just cannot do that because of the technology.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much to the Pidaftar project. I have another speaker, Lagrisky. I gave you microphone. Can you speak? Okay. No voice. So let's continue. We have a comments section, and there are a lot of questions. One of them is how mining community helped out to get huge market cap. Can you give answer to this question, Mr. Zurab, if possible?
Yeah. So the mining community itself Thanks for the question. The mining community itself, it doesn't help to make a big market cap. We're just attracting the attention to our product, and that's how we are distributing the information about XDAO. And also our community, it helped us to test some very interesting features that we implement in our products to test our hardware, to test our technologies, so how much users we can work with. Yeah, and as I said, we have experience in conducting the educational campaigns. We also distributed some rewards a few years ago when we launched XDAO on other blockchains, and we saw the real growth of using our application and our platform after finishing it. So it's between 5 and 10% of the users who came just to participate like in airdrop, they were keeping using XDAO after that, and our metrics, they were significantly improved after that. Yes, so now we are distributing our future tokens that will have a real utility with our ecosystem. So all the real users, they will have to buy and stake the tokens to get some benefits within the ecosystem.
Okay,
And
thank you.
also a big yeah, I'm sorry, let me explain. The big community, it helps us to reach tier 1 exchanges and to list our token with the better conditions. This is the core thing as well.
Thank you so much for explanation. So I give microphone to Ovia Effects. Do you have a question? Please.
Ovia Effect, yes, you raised your hand.
I think here is a problem with the microphone, but he sent his question to the comment section as well. So transparency, transparency, the foundation to every project. Can you clarify the community why you changed your mind and kept mining when you said mining will end? So this is his question.
Because thanks for this question. I think that a lot of people who came today, they want to hear this. The answer to it. So we haven't just changed our mind. It's connected to the points that we need to finish our main product, and we already finished them. Now we are at the stage of validating smart contracts, and we just cannot finish the stage of mining before launching the main product with smart contracts, and because we need to convert our community to on-chain activity to show that we have a real community, and so to sell it idea to exchanges as well. It will help to launch the token, it will help TG and so on and so forth. So we don't know just to launch and fail the token. And we all are interested in good token launch. So we are hiring the top security auditors. It's like white hackers who are trying to find some vulnerabilities in our smart contracts. And they have a lot of clients, and we need to synchronize the schedule with them and to get the slots from them. So that's why we cannot just predict everything. The team also wants to finish the mining stage as soon as possible, because we're here not just to waste your time. We need to show the real results of our work. So that's why we are not just stopping the farming. And so I'm sure that's not the toughest thing, just to participate, to pass our tasks. And yes,
Thank you so
please,
much.
if there are some questions about the TGE, and so why we are still mining, please, I'm asking you to hear my answer now. And so we will do our best, and we will make TGE as soon as possible, because we need to synchronize everything, really a lot of things, and not everything depends only on us and on our development. Yes, we are also tied to market conditions. We're still waiting for alt season to show really great results, and not to waste the time you spent on our project, and so you spent in testing them. So of course we're all in the same boat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Rob. Our channel is related to startups and ventures. So what advice
Yes.
would you give to startup founders building in the DAO space? Are there any specific things to say?
Yes, for sure. I love this question, because honestly, there has never been a better time to start. Web3 is still early, and DAOs are just beginning to show their full potential. If you're curious and motivated, you're already ahead. And here are three simple steps I'd recommend for anyone starting out. The first one is learn by doing. So don't wait until you feel like an expert. Just jump in, try creating a test DAO using platforms like XDAO, explore how proposals and voting work, and join a few active communities. The best way to learn Web3 is through hands-on experience. Mistakes are always okay, and they sometimes happen. That's the part of the process. Second one, build your team and find your people. Web3 moves fast, and you can't do it alone. Just surround yourself with other builders, creators, and curious mind. Join Telegram chats or Discords, contribute to projects, ask questions. In the DAO space, community is everything. It will support you, teach you, and help spread your ideas. And very important thing here that, as I said before, our DAOs, they raised through the platform over $50 million. Of course, we don't help to find investor. I mean, the platform itself doesn't help to find investors. But if you have a community, if you have like-minded people, the DAO will lower the barriers for those who love your idea, and the DAO will help you just to make a crowdfunding campaign or fundraising within your community. And even with the people with small checks, they can participate in your fundraising and be a part of your big DAO family. And the third point is focusing on a real mission, because trends come and go, but if your DAO is solving a real problem or bringing people together around something meaningful, it will anyway stand out. Don't build just to launch a token, build something that matters, and others will want to help you through a DAO. And of course, most of all, take action. So you don't need now any permission to launch a company. You can just come and create a DAO, and you just need to start. So Web3 rewards people who build. So just start small, but start as soon as possible, and then grow from there.
Thank you so much. Can you share an example where a startup structured as a DAO really worked?
Yes, we have a lot of examples within our platform. For example, there were guys who were participating in testing new blockchains, and so they raised and managed by their communities. So they raised from their communities over $5 million in a few iterations, and they managed them, and they helped testing to blockchains. After that, they got huge airdrops and distributed them to their community. There are a lot of examples from real businesses. So some guys, they raised hundreds thousands of dollars for building a karting company. There are a lot of investment funds that invest in artificial intelligence, in gold mining, in technologies, who just raised money and then invest in startups and also distribute rewards and pay dividends to their contributors. Of course, in the world, there are a lot of other examples, like, let's say, Constitution DAO that raised 40 million to participate in auction and to buy the version of the United States Constitution. It was a few years ago. You can just Google how much different examples of DAOs in the world, and maybe it will inspire you to launch your own.
Okay, thank you so much. Sitora, if you have additional questions, so I can give the floor to you.
Okay, if not, let me also to thank the Pivot Uzbekistan community who joined us today, and also the members of our XDAO community. I would also to tell a small like a code word to reward them for inviting us today. You will be able to use it within our application soon. This is the word framework. Please remind it and use it. Thanks for your question. Thanks Leila and Sitora for inviting me and having me today. It was really very deep and good questions that I had today, and thanks for the chance to answer them.
Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Rapp, for joining us today and sharing your valuable insights. And thank you for your community for being active and asking questions. Sitora, please, if you have some questions or wish, just your.
Laila Opa, I don't have any questions. I was going to ask about legal status of DAOs around the world, but Mr. Zurab already mentioned about it in the UAE and the United States. But still, that's pretty interesting in our region. So how is the legal status of DAOs, except from UAE and United States?
Of course. So there are around 10 different jurisdictions in the world that have recognized DAOs as official structures. However, you don't need to use DAO. You don't need to register it as a DAO. You can use just use DAO as a multi-signature wallet, and if your country allows your company to use crypto wallets and multi-signature wallets, that means that you can just connect your DAO address and use it as the multi-signature wallet. So that's how you can legalize it. Of course, I'm sure that a lot of countries, so the next 5 years, it will be not less than 50 countries in the world that will recognize DAOs, because when we started 4 years ago, there were 0 countries, DAO-friendly countries. Yeah, and now more and more jurisdictions, especially those who have some specific special economic zones in the world, who are focused on technologies, on blockchain technologies, they understand that DAOs is a way how to attract new businesses, especially businesses that are built by young generation entrepreneurs. And it's just inevitable, because crypto is inevitable. That means that DAOs are inevitable in any way. And DAOs, they allow to see all the transactions in transparent way, and DAO allows to make very transparent taxation to a company. So I see only advantages for the governments at the moment. There are no if we are speaking of the post-Soviet space, I would say that the best crypto legislation is developed in Estonia. Do you know that a lot of crypto startups, incorporated in Estonia, and Estonia also works with DAOs as well. About the Central Asia, I'm not sure, so I haven't heard anything about the recognition of DAOs in your region. But so by using a DAO, you're not breaking any laws. You break laws only when you not pay taxes. So you need just to know the legislation of your country, and how you need to pay taxes from crypto and from your crypto incomes. And so after that, you will see how to work in legal space with DAOs as well. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you for your answer, Mr. Zurab. I do hope that our regulators also will be approaching this technology. For now, we don't have any taxes to crypto income. The only thing that will be paid as a tax, it will be paid by service providers, not from users for now.
Okay.
Thank you for your answers, and it was pretty pleasant to have you. Thanks for joining.